A new Master Duel ban list has just been announced in-game, and with that we have new leaks and some new packs that came out. I'll be streaming the new pack today on Twitch and on YouTube at the same time with a tournament, so make sure you stop by there. Now let's hop into the ban list. Starting off with the first change, we're going to be working our way down from cards to be unlimited. Cyber Angel Ben 10. If this card is tributed, you could add one Light Fairy from your deck to your hand. This is a very popular card in a deck like Drytron. And Drytron was most notably used at the start of Master Duel's release, chasing away every returning player just trying out Yu-Gi-Oh! And I guess now the deck is potentially at full power. We'll check out Drytron in a bit and what's going on there. Let's keep on going. We now have Fractal. Wow. Both Ben 10 and Fractal, they were top tier on the release of Master Duel about 2 years ago. And I guess they're both coming back. That's crazy. This was with Zodiac Tri-Brigade, and now we had Sprite Tri-Brigade. Now Sprite Tri-Brigade kind of died with the new change by them killing Sprite Sprint. So this is another card we'll be looking into and seeing what's happening with the current state of Tri-Brigade. Maybe Leerlush Tri-Brigade is going to be a very good deck to be playing now. So I'll be opening that up, and we'll look at it in a bit. Cards be limited. Oh my. Pot of E? Are you kidding me? TCG and OCG have this at 3. But in Master Duel, this card's a problem, apparently. I guess if you don't use your extra deck, which is how you use this card, you randomly banish cards from your extra deck, and then you get to draw 2. Well, Konami doesn't want you to not be using your extra deck. You have to care about your extra deck. What's wrong with you? We look at all the pot cards. Pot of, and sorted by popular pot cards. Pot of P to 1 at 3 in TCG. Pot of E to 1. Pot of Desires we still have at 3 though. Randomly banish 10 cards from your deck is still okay, I guess. It's the control decks that they don't like. Duality, Pot of E, and Pot of Prosperity. Those are going to be used mostly in control decks. Now, looking specifically at Pot of E, what decks did it actually hit? Let's see. Labyrinth is a big one. 93% enjoying it at 3. Or I should say at 2. Makonko was liking it. And yes, another Fluanderies hit. I'm sorry to the Fluanderies players because this is a really good free-to-play friendly deck for anyone to be going into. Also, some Kashtira players are playing it, and you may be thinking, why? They care about their extra deck. Well, it's more interesting with Kashtira because we have Pot of P at 1 instead of at 3, and in TCG they would banish the Goliath, and then we having it at 1, we can't do that as consistently. I'm going to tell you why that's good. Now at Pot of E, you could randomly banish it, and then your Arise Heart can attach it, and by attaching the Goliath to the Arise Heart, you now are indestructible by card effect. If they were to Cyframe Gamma, your Arise Heart, which is a popular play, this completely counters that. You even attach your Garura to the Arise Heart, and you get to draw a card if they out the Arise Heart. So that is quite interesting. And yeah, poor Fluanderies. I mean, we have the Empen at 1, which is at 3 in TCG and OCG. The map is at 3 in TCG. This is just wild. I can't believe this because the deck is so cost effective. What are we supposed to be recommending to new players? I have no idea at this point. Let's keep on going back to the ban list. That's just wild. I'm sorry. Let's go, let's go. Forbidden. Whoa. A Pointer of the Red Lotus. This is really interesting. Pay 2,000 life, you look at your opponent's hand after revealing yours, and then you banish a card until the end phase. You may be thinking, what's up with this? Why? Well, let's read more into it. It's banned in the TCG as it was very powerful in the side deck. You know that you're going first for game 2 or 3, so you side in for that, and then you get to set it turn 1, and then you get to look at their entire hand and banish a card until the end phase. It reminds me of the Trap Dust Shoot, which I had to play against back in the day and play with. Same thing. You look at it's good for turn 1, you set it, it was limited to 1. You look at their hand, you spin a monster back in the deck. So it's kind of that same vibe. But OCG, who controls our ban list, they're okay with it in their meta. But who is even really using this? Not many people. Labyrinth, you know, you could set it up with Lady, but as you can see, not very popular. Kashtira, you could, well, here's the thing. You get the card back in the end phase. But with Kashtira, if they banish your card temporarily until the end phase, it's not temporary because now I'm going to attach it with a Rise Heart, making it a permanent steal out of your hand. And usually you may have a single good card in your hand to deal with the Arise Heart. So, I guess that's kind of a pretty annoying strategy there, but still not that popular. But Spiral, we're really liking it. And the main reason for that is because they would grab it from the graveyard with Nightmare Griffin. What they could do is they could use Curious to guaranteed send it from the deck to the grave, and then Nightmare Griffin it back onto the field. Now, another card that they could have potentially hit instead could have been Dimensional Barrier. And I'm going to talk more about the Appointer. I know you're maybe thinking about Thrust. The Dimensional Barrier, I think, would have probably been a better hit, but it would be hurting Labyrinth decks as it's a lot more popular. And this Live Twin Spray, interesting. Okay. So this is going to be set up with the Lady, and the Appointer also now being a good time to hit the card because of Thrust. I like the interaction with Thrust in Max C. What happens is you try to make your plays turn 1, they Max C you. Well, Triple Tactics Thrust doesn't allow you to add the card to your hand unless they have a monster on the field, so you're going to have to set it onto the field. So if you Max C me, I get to use Thrust to set Dimensional Barrier, or I could have been setting a card like a Pointer of the Red Lotus. So in a way, it kind of was an anti-Max C card while also being really toxic. Really interesting that Konami decided to hit this right here, right now, especially when it's not that popular and it's not about to become even more popular. And, I know Thrust, but Thrust has been out and it's not being abused as much. It's not a good excuse for why this got hit now. I'm thinking that they maybe had friendly duels at the office and the lead dev must have lost to this and they were pissed. That's all I could think, really, on top of all the other reasoning of why the card is good and used in the other contexts is, let's keep on going. What? Huh? What? Wait, full changes. Is this a mistake? So the tier list, Purely, Kashtira, these are completely okay. I guess with Labyrinth, they already hit Pot of E, so that is a hit. And Kashtira is still in the shop, so you can't really hit it after we just had our Duelist Cop. But the Purely cards, are they still in the shop? Galactic Evolution is, yeah, it's still available. And that's kind of the unwritten rule where if the pack is still available in the shop, they're not allowed to hit it. And yeah, what do you think about that? I guess you got to wait till next ban list. But in a way, you maybe like that, knowing that your cards are safe for, I mean, within 2 months, you would want the deck to already be hit. To be fair, they do have a system where they pre-hit cards and try to do so, and I do think they messed up with Purely. I think it did come out to be a bit too powerful. It was kind of with the mantra of having a good pack, bad pack, good pack, bad pack, and Purely was right before Kashtira, so technically it was kind of the bad, less hyped pack, but ended up giving us the best deck. I think going into the Duelist Cup, Purely was the best deck going in, better than Kashtira, but really hard to pilot. And a lot of people, they don't like the aesthetic of the deck. So I'm thinking, even with me thinking it is much better than, not much better, but better than Kashtira, I think Kashtira is a lot more popular. It's a lot more people playing it. And let's click on the popularity rankings here. As you can see here, yeah, Kashtira is up here. A lot of people are enjoying that. If we click Master One also, I mean, look at that. It's wild that that's how hard the deck is to play, or people just don't like playing with little Pokemon-looking cards, I guess. Wow, what are people saying about this? And also, I do want to do a huge shout-out, too. We have Card Collection Live. So if you're logged in through Discord on the website, click on your card collection. You could add cards to your collection. Just like that, you could take out, you could add in, you could update. And how this works is if you go to the top decks page, let's hop on that real quick. It's going to show you your collection level. 100% I could build these decks, 97% on this. Let's say that you have this deck and you want to add it to your collection. Well, you could click on add to your collection right here. Boom. Now, this entire deck, because I have all the cards, add it to my collection. Another quick way to update your collection here. And also, let's say that you can click on own cards and it will highlight what is owned, as this is everything that we already have. But if we go back to the top decks page here and let's see, we can click on this deck. So it also updates the resources that you'd need. The URCP, 420SR 690 based off of my collection. So if we highlight this and I click on owned cards, it's going to show me what I need to craft. I need to craft Kurikara. By the way, do not craft Kurikara. It's getting reprinted within 2 weeks. So that is a big leak that I did leak in another video. Make sure you do not craft Kurikara. But the Imperm, the Garura, but wait, isn't there Imperm bundle? Yeah, so I make sure that I get one from the bundle first, then I get the other one from the UR Craft, meaning that this deck is playing 2 impermanents. So that's how smart it is, and make sure that you could be sorting by your collection and all that good stuff. So hopefully you like that change, and I would like your feedback on it. And if you have any questions, let me know. You could also import your deck from in-game, but you know, it's a little bit more complicated to do that. You'd go to the deck builder, you'd click on import, you go to the Yu-Gi-Oh database, and you go to their database, and then you import it from in-game by connecting your Konami ID to the in-game. I will be making a quick video on how to do that. It's very easy to do. And it's also a way to get this onto the website for you so it works with the Konami website. So for example, if I were to click on one of these decks from in-game, I will be able to click the export to MD button. So this entire deck list from in-game, which was one button, it goes right to the website. And vice versa. What I could do is, if I like this Kashtira deck and I want to put it in game, one button in game, I can click on share, click on a master duel, and then with the extension, it goes right to the in game, just like that, importing the deck in game. And then in master duel, the deck is now there waiting for me. I've showcased this multiple times on stream. It's very easy to do once you get set up initially. But beyond that, let's keep on looking at some of the comments of the ban list before we keep on ranting. And I guess I promised maybe I'd look at the leaks. I didn't really, but I kind of shouted it out. And there is one card I kind of want to talk about a little. I didn't want to make this video too long, but I enjoy you being here. Another flu hit. How surprising. Good. I don't know. We need good free-to-play decks for players to be able to accessibly play the game, even though Master Duel already is really free-to-play friendly compared to almost any other card game that exists. It's wild. No way they remembered that Fractal exists. Yeah, we're going back, and that reminds me, we're going back so far to talk about the Ben 10 and Fractal. I almost forgot. I got distracted. If we go back to tournaments, we go back to the very first MCS that happened for Master Duel. Let's look at this. Back in February, or no, back in April 10th, 2022. Let's see this. If we click on Zodiac Tri-Brigade, the deck's pretty much at full power, right? We got 3 Fractal, we got the 3 Tenki. We could go right back to this, no holding back whatsoever. That's really interesting, as this was a top tier deck back in the day. Now, what about Drytron? If we look at Drytron here, is this almost full power? We got the 3 Ben 10, we got the 2 Ava. The orange light is limited to 1, and that is a really good card to be using with the Ava here. But, you know, being able to search it with Ava and then you have another fairy to discard with it, that's pretty good. But it is missing the Union Carrier, so it isn't really at full power. And I did talk about how this was the toxic deck on release of Master Duel because of Herald of Perfection or Herald of Ultimateness. Wait, were they all using Perfection here? Ain't no way. Here we go. Ultimateness used in the top 32 here. Both of the Heralds just ruining everyone's time returning back to Master Duel. So it's really interesting that we're inching towards this deck being much more playable now. But the big reason why this deck is not so good right now, but I think getting even better, is the use of Bestials. The Bestials really screw up the deck, but you know, these are already limited to 1, and a lot of people are main decking them because of tier limit, which is no longer as good. So with the usage of Bestials going down, I guess it's a good time to whip out your Drytron deck again. And please don't be upset with me saying this. I actually enjoy this deck, but probably mostly for going second. It's a really fun go second deck for me because you could very easily steal your opponent's monsters with Natasha, then go for a game, and I really do like that. The first turn, you know, that's kind of fun, kind of toxic, but you know how Yu-Gi-Oh is. And let's see what any other questions or comments are. Remembered Fractal, flu hit again. Red Lotus banned. It's annoying. Yeah, I mean, Listen, this guy probably has not been Lotused in a very long time, if ever. Maybe in the TCG. It's a rare card. I mean, come on. I'm getting Master 1 pretty much every season, and I don't see that card. I don't see it in tournaments, really. It's still kind of being used, but I don't think it was about to be a problem. But, you know, sure, it's a toxic card. I'm happy they hit it. It's just not a big thing to get excited for going into a tournament. The tournament's not going to be that much different with and without it at the current moment. Prank Kids, yeah, they did forget about Prank Kids. That's kind of messed up. Where are the Prank Kids on hit here? The Meow Moo, still limited to 1, banned in TCG, at 3 in OCG. So come on now, this is not cool at all. I can quickly show you the leaks. We got a new bike, great. We have the question, all right. Got the mate base. Now, something really interesting here is, what is this? Certification? I think the file name is called Certification, and they're saying that it's going to be on the notifications area. I don't know what this could be. What do you think? It's got like a notepad. It's got the swords. What certification for what? So maybe some kind of in-game tournament mode. I'd really like that. You know, some kind of mode. That'd be nice. Was anyone else saying what they think it is? No, not really. And then, yeah, the new pack that came out today, which this is kind of an extra pack, even though it's a decent pack. It's got the Teller Knights. This is going to be really good for control deck players. You're going to be drawing 2 every single turn. What the hell? And then we have the simultaneous OCG release of the Promethean Princess, Bestower of Flames. It was Fruitful Flames or something. Now they changed it. Blaster now at 3. Sakitama. And I made an article, you know, quickly scrapped this up, showing off some tournament topping decks from TCG and OCG. So you get to quickly see that. If you're going to ask, is the pack good? Well, this is how good the pack is. This is a Teller Knight deck. If you want to copy that, this was very nice. Okay. And then we're going to keep on going. Then this was an Exorcister deck using the new Sakitama. Let's keep on going. This is a control deck using the brand new Morganite to draw 2 every turn. Not that I'm promoting this. I'm just trying to objectively show you some decks that did well with the new cards. Now, thankfully, this is pretty much not playable. Look at the freaking floodgates. 3, 3, 2, 3. We got a 2, 1, 1, 1. And 1 Amano Wado. Yeah, geez. I have to say that Runic Stun being a popular deck in Master Duel has to be the most toxic era, the most unfun, the most frustrating moment in the entire history of Master Duel. I think so. Way worse than Drytron and anything else. I don't care how powerful Tier Limit was. This was the most annoying deck, with it being near full power when they had all the floodgates and all the unhits. This was the worst. This was the only deck that really made me not want to play the ladder and really hated the game. You let me know if you agree. Now, what are some comments here? All right, that's enough rambling. It's really late for me. I got to go to sleep as I'm going to be waking up for the tournament stream of the new pack with it being on YouTube and on Twitch. Thank you very much. We are out.